All right. Here we go. So, just to recap, day one, brought into the operation room, right?
Right.
Patient number 656. You also overhear that you are in the heart, is what they call it. Lower levels of the heart.
Okay.
Keep mentioning that. Um, while you're on the operating table, you notice the things around you as far as describing the blood viscosity and the possibility of bone deterioration, the fact that you're only going to live 5 years, that kind of a thing, right? You're able to make your save, as we saw, and they dropped you off in that bunk.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this over where we can see it. All right. So, now what we see, drop you off in there. You go through the night, pretty uneventful, that kind of thing. You can hear the moans and groans of your cellmates. You periodically hear like metal grinding,
Okay.
and like you can almost feel like a blast of warm air that kind of just rushes through the rooms and the hallways, kind of a thing, and then you'll hear that same kind of screech as it closes again. So,
Okay.
all right, so you hear that.
Sounds kind of okay.
All right, so you're restrained to that bunk. You wake up in the morning, and one of the guards, he's a pretty big guy, bald, comes in. And he gives you what appears to be some sort of like brown green sludge in a big giant bag. It looks like almost like a gallon Ziploc, right? It's filled with this sludge, and he just hooks it up to an IV stand, and while you're restrained there, he rams a tube into your throat and just lets it drain. So apparently that's breakfast.
Delicious.
So go ahead and give me a roll me another 20, and let's see if you can hold it down. We're gonna keep it under 15.
8.
Nice. Okay. So you're able to retain it, look him in the eye, stay cool, or however you want to react. How would you react to that?
Yeah, I mean, especially my guy, I'd probably just stare him dead in the eyes and basically show no emotion.
There we go. You played icy cool. He just kind of laughs, grabs this archaic rig that he called breakfast, and wheels it out. One of the cellmates next to you, we'll call him Ivan. You met him on the way in when you're being transported. Let's see. So we'll say Ivan. You came in when you were transported. He's got a black mohawk, shortcut. Covered in piercings. And looks blind in one eye.
Okay.
He looks over at you. What's your that would be your mental, I think your affinity, hang on. There we go. Yeah, your MA, what's your
13.
It's 13? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just say a 40 even. Let's see what happens. See if I get under a 40% here.
Ooh.
Oh no. Okay.
Definitely not.
He looks over at you and just kind of laughs, sneers at you a little bit, kind of rolls back over and just kind of stares up at the ceiling. That kind of a thing.
Okay.
He didn't like mocking laugh, but he just kind of, and goes back to staring.
Okay.
All right. So they come back in for round 2. Pick you up, move you to the bench, and just butt in if there's anything you ever want to do, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So they wheel you out into the hall, and this is the first time that you're able to really recognize your surroundings. You can see now that the bunk area is 2 basically bedrooms next to each other, about the same size from what you gather, right? And through these open doors here.
Right.
Right. They turn right, start traveling up the hallway. You're able to see inside testing 2. You see what appears to be like squat racks and workout equipment, but like industrial strength.
Okay.
Right? You're seeing squat racks that don't have, don't have your usual meathead with, 5 plates on either side, that kind of a thing. You're seeing where the plates are removed and what would be strongman truck tires are on the ends of like I-beams, kind of a thing. But the I-beams are more like a honeycomb shape in order to be a little bit more rounded, and they're just strapped across these guys' backs as they're, deep squatting.
Okay.
Then you come up into this area here, and you can see how this room is a 10 by 10 that leads into the testing one and into the operation room. Okay.
Right.
So a little bit of an area here. Nothing very descriptive or anything like that. Just some mantras up on the wall showing the praise to the emperor and the coalition state, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
You see the emperor up there, and also a TV screen that's broadcasting what appears to be pro-coalition propaganda. The whole, you're doing the right thing, for the coalition state. We'll drive back all the DBs. We don't need them. This is our planet, not theirs. That kind of a thing.
Right.
They get you up into the operation room, and you hear that clang again, and you feel the warmth. As you see across the room is this, what appears to be a chute. It's about a 4.5 foot chute back in this cubby, and that there's a doctor there that's putting waste down into it, and you can feel warmth coming up out of it whenever he drops it down into it.
Okay.
So they put you onto the operation room again. You feel them dig around in the back of your head, just on the surface, and you can feel the pain kind of shoot through you as they stroke some of the ports, what appears or what feels like big metal plugs in the back of your head.
Okay.
And you can count there's like 2 in the back of your head, and whenever they brush it, it feels just so tender and so sore, but it feels hard anchored into your skull.
Right.
Okay. You feel them kind of screw down onto it with what feels like a garden hose, and then at the same time, another doctor is reaching underneath your back from underneath the gurney. The gurney has a big hole in it, right? So we're back of your head like a massage table, where you face down into it. That's where your head's at, and then in the bottom of the gurney itself, across your back, by your kidneys, and down through lower back, just above your just above your hips. You can feel 3 distinct ports going down from that mid back at the kidney level, one at mid lower back, just below that, like where the lumbar kind of starts, and then then just above the pelvis, off to the side of the spine. So everything's running down the left-hand side of your spine.
Okay, so just off to the side of it?
Yeah, just off to the side of it.
Okay.
Correct. That way it's not interfering with the mobility of the spine, but it's able to get to what it needs to get to. So both at a nerve level and at the organ level, right? And so you feel them dig around in there, and the same shocks of pain are going racking your body as they're screwing these things in. These ones aren't anchored as well. These are anchored into the muscle and not into the bone.
Okay.
And so that's where you're feeling some tugging and pulling and that kind of thing. And so, that being said, I'm going to have you do a PE check. Let's see here.
My PE should be 25.
Okay, cool. So it's 25, and since this is you coming into age, right, we're going to say you're actually at a 17 today.
Okay.
And so that is, all right, roll us 100. And I want you to get it below a 40.
38.
Oh, well done. Okay, you're able to deal with this without, you grit your teeth, and you don't have to scream or anything like that. You hold your composure.
Okay.
So after they get it screwed in, you hear them go, they say, okay, Omega X-ray, let's fire this up. Yep. And a doctor kind of leans over to the wall over here, while he, pulls out a lighter and lights a cigarette, and then he just pounds this button on the wall that's glowing red, and it starts to pump these toxins into you. And they're running monitors on you during this, and you can feel the fire run through your back and through your head, and your brain starts spinning. You have these visions of home, of what appears to be like a calm ranch house out in the middle of nowhere. And
Gladiator style.
there you go. Yeah, nice. So and you see a woman who you think you recognize, with long blonde hair, and standing next to a Jeep.
Right. Okay.
So let's do another check. And this one we're going to go ahead and do another PE, and this time get it below a 30. So another D100 and get below a 30. It's just getting increasingly worse.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're starting to black out. Give us one more, just to see if you can save it.
38.
30,
Or 32. No.
32. Oh man, so close. So you start to black out. Now that's not too bad. So I'm not going to cause anything outside of this. But yeah, you black out and don't remember anything.
Okay.
Okay. You start
my last vision is the one with like long blonde hair.
Yep, long blonde hair next to a Jeep. And she's kind of like looking off into the distance in these rows of farmhouses is what you see, kind of arranged in a small town. All right. Next thing you know, you're waking up back in your bunk. Now you wake up in your bunk, and as they're wheeling into this bed here, the guy with the mohawk, Ivan.
Ivan.
Yeah. And you see that he's gritting his teeth and sweat's pouring down. His eyes are huge, and he's been kind of gagged with what appears to be a 2-inch foam block in his teeth.
Okay.
And like a rubber strap that goes around to the back of his head, holding it in place. And he's got, kind of foam coming out of one side of his mouth, and and he's grunting and heaving so heavily, but so fatigued, like he's been screaming for hours. And so they get him there and they strap him down, or he's already strapped down. When they wheel the bunk in, this is when you notice that the bunks kind of lock into place. So these gurneys that you guys are on, they wheel them in, they lock into place, and as soon as they lock his into place, you see the guard mumbles something, crude about him, something like "good night, asshole," that kind of a thing, and slams a switch above his head, and you can see the electric shock jolt through him, and then he's out. So you're so fatigued out, you're coming in and out of consciousness. That's one of the things that you see there. All right?
Okay. Yep.
All right. And you go to sleep. And dreams do not come.
Damn.
You are in your own hell here. All right. You wake up in the morning. Old Baldy comes walking in. Now you're recognizing his clothes a little bit more. You're seeing the, that blue or that navy blue uniform, somewhere in between a medic and military.
Right.
That kind of a thing. He's different than the one that put Ivan to sleep.
Okay.
The one that put Ivan to sleep was short. Still the same haircut, but he was short.
Same uniform?
Yeah, same uniform. Except, you know what? Roll a 20 and see if you get under a 6.
Under a 6?
Under a 6. I'll give you a plus.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not.
No, you're noticing a skull on his sleeve.
Okay.
And that skull has spikes around the cranium.
Okay.
That's about it. He comes in. He kind of looks at you. You can notice there's something about his eyes that are just like super icy, like super blue.
Okay.
That white blue kind of thing, and all the pupils are like pinpoints. You can tell that he just kind of enjoys himself when he does this. So he comes up to you, same contraption, pulls out the hose. You're restrained. He goes, put the hose into your mouth.
It's breakfast time.
It's breakfast time. Here you go. And we're going to do the same thing. Give me that check. That was a 20. And get under a Yep, you got it. You got it.
So I don't throw up again.
Exactly. You're good. You're good. Yeah, you'd get a. Yeah, you get a +2. Or a -2 in this case. For a save. Alright. So. They wheel you back up. You see the same landscape as you saw before. Same testing. You're seeing those squatters in there. That kind of a thing. Now you're starting to see in testing 1 a little bit more, where you're seeing that there's not tables, but like floor space where they have almost like a treadmill that people are on and they're running.
Okay.
And that kind of thing. You're seeing this number that just keeps clocking, where it's saying, you know, on 1 you notice it says 1895.67 km, and you see that just slowly ticking up, and you're able to decipher that that's how many kilometers this person has been running.
Wow. Okay.
And they're just in a dead sprint, not even breaking a sweat.
Wow. Okay.
And you get up into this room. There you go. So back to the operation room. You're seeing your doctors in there. Now you're able to kind of count them. You have 3 doctors.
Okay.
Are they the same doctors I had yesterday? Do I recognize them, or are these new ones?
Yeah, they're feeling recognizable. You got 3 doctors. All 3 are males. At least from what you're able to tell. You know, they seem to have the right build to be male. You know, the squared shoulders, that kind of a thing. They're wearing the same kind of blue uniforms that you saw with the guards.
Okay.
And they have skulls on their uniforms as well. Give me a sec. Yeah, you see just skulls. That's what they look like. They're just skulls.
Okay.
All right. Our favorite piece. They start to screw everything in. You're feeling the pain shoot up through you, but it's not as bad as before, right?
Right.
It's feeling like you feel like it's almost plausible that you're able to do everything. Okay?
Yeah.
And you said your PE was or is what?
My PE is 25.
It's 25. Cool. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Go ahead and roll us our percentile. This time you got to get under a 50.
46.
46. Good job. So you're able to deal with the pain and the fire and all that stuff pumping into your veins. Now we're going to see if you can deal with the... And because of that, you're not having any visions per se. Okay, so you're starting to just kind of... It's less of a hallucination and it's more of a... just gritting your teeth and bearing through it. You're getting tunnel vision. Rings of red rage and darkness are around your vision itself as it's like quaking into place.
Okay.
You can feel yourself getting stronger. Part of it feels amazing, like you're getting these godlike powers. At the same time, it feels like you're taking on the pain of the gods as well, right?
Right.
So, because that, I'm going to have you roll one more time, and this time it's going to be at a -10, so that'll be 40. So get below a 40.
33.
Woo! Good job. Okay, so you're able to make it go through it all. As far as through the day, you're agonizing in pain through the hours, right? So
Right.
it's pumping into your veins, you're feeling it, that kind of thing. Now we're approaching like hour 3, okay, of this procedure. As
Okay.
it's an infusion from hell is what this is, right?
Okay.
And the doctors are like taking breaks, eating a sandwich, smoking. They're just like, if he dies, he dies, you know, that kind of thing. They really don't care about you at all.
Right.
And so but you're in this last hour, and so we're going to roll one more time, and we're going to see if you can get it at so we did a 40, and then we did a 50, a 40, and this will be at a 35.
Right. Wow.
Whoa! Is that, what is that, 10?
It's a 10.
It's a 10, perfect. So you're able to just grit and bear with. They hit it. They're like, it's getting stronger. Yeah, I think he's going to make the cut. Yeah, you know. Oh, he's a tough piece of side of beef, isn't he? And they unplug you and wheel you back down the hall. You got sweat pouring down, that kind of a thing. But you know, that sudden rush of it being over, you're very fatigued. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Okay.
They wheel you back to your bunk. And as they're wheeling you in, I'm going to do another MA check. What was your MA again? It was... Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. So nobody really notices you.
Okay.
So yeah, nobody really notices anything. You just kind of get wheeled in, you go back, and you just kind of pass out.
Okay. No need for electrocution.
No need for electrocution. You just like you're able to fall asleep somewhere in between here and here. It's like you're dozing. By the time you get there, they just let you pass out.
Okay.
All right. Day 3. Day 3, wake up, same routine, you're getting used to it. You see Baldy comes up to you, and he's ready to give you breakfast. Let's roll for it.
Alrighty.
And get underneath the 18, you're feeling stronger.
16.
Bam, no problem, you're able to deal with it. How do you handle it?
Same way I've been doing it the past couple days. I just choke it down, stare him right in the eyes, try not to give any sign of weakness or emotion.
That's great. Cool. So then he takes you and wheels you up to our friends in the operating room. Our favorite part of the day. So he wheels you up there, gets you in there. Doctors are remarking about how you're progressing. Things seem to be A-okay. Everything's proceeding according to plan. Your heart is getting stronger. Now you're hearing that you're going to be able to survive 5.5 years.
Alright.
Is what they speculate.
It's better.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he's probably got 5.5 years left. He's looking, that's good. We get a lot out of him. I'm excited. So get everything screwed in. You know the drill. Let's see if you can get this time under a 60.
Under 60, alright. Ooh, 89.
So you're in pain, and you don't know if it's because you're just sore after these past couple times or what have you, but just them hooking up the hoses is causing you to shriek out in pain.
Okay.
One of the doctors slaps you across the face, bloodying just with the back of his hand, and that gloved hand kind of rakes your face with a little bit of road rash across the cheek itself. Just the rubber itself kind of peeling away some of the flesh that's there. You realize that his hand didn't feel human, right?
Okay.
It didn't feel like the back of a hand that you ever been hit with or anything like that. It felt almost cold and just hard.
Okay.
So after that, they start. He walks over, same thing. Grabs a cigarette, and this one you're noticing that he's smoking the cigarette through his mask. Like he's not taking the mask out of the way. He just puts the cigarette in there, kind of butts it in, and then hits the switch. And so do the same check. This time get under a 50.
35.
35. Okay, no problem. Able to sail through that little bit of pain. So
So he's got his mask on. Do I see anything weird about his eyes at all?
there you go. So you're looking at his eyes, and I want you to. You have. Let's see here. Do you have a skill that you'd like to apply to it? Let's do it that way. Instead of just me dictating checks. Because we can do a check. I just see if you got a skill.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The only one I have that I can see being beneficial right now would be Streetwise.
Streetwise? Okay, yeah, that's fair. What's your Streetwise percentage?
So my base is 20. Yeah, it's 20.
Okay. Now I'm going to just roll for what I think here. Hang on a sec. Just for myself. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and roll for it. Let's see if you get under it.
Under 14?
No, get under your Streetwise. That's for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Very cool. Very cool. So, what your deduction is when you look at his eyes, you can tell like one eye doesn't seem to move like the other one.
Okay.
And it seems to move even, I'd venture to say, independent.
Interesting. Okay.
Are they a specific color, or is it just like look like normal eyes, just move kind of different?
From what you're able to gather, you see that they look like they're possibly the same color, but something's just weird about one that seems to be a bit foreign. It seems really glassy, really not like the other one. The other one's kind of got like a milky film to it,
Okay.
and that one seems to be just clear.
Okay.
You also notice over time that it doesn't blink.
The clear one doesn't?
Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one doesn't blink. And that's the same guy that hit you.
Oh, okay. So
this
is not the tall, bald guy that comes and feeds me every morning.
Nope. This doctor is just in the operating room. You haven't seen him in your bunks.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and give us another check. This time we did a 60, 50, 45.
45?
Yep. Oh, not good.
Not good at all. There's been 3 89s rolled.
Yeah. That's interesting. Hopefully it's not a bug, right?
You're right.
Is it not really random? So you're going to roll a d20. And I'm going to have you roll to try and get above a 12.
Ooh,
No.
yeah. Ouch.
And you have no bonuses because this is an ME check.
Yeah, yeah. Anything anything,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
So let me just verify. Roll once on the random insanity table.
Dun, 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 dun.
So we're going to roll percentile. Go ahead and roll a percentile.
Oh, me roll percentile? Sorry.
Yep. Go ahead and roll percentile. I'll let you dictate your fate.
Ooh, 83.
83, not 89.
That's true.
Okay, so take note of this. You start to have these feelings that you can't stand to be around people, right? That everybody's kind of not necessarily out to get you, but not necessarily in your best interest. So it's just better if you remove yourself. You think of that town on the plains, you know, that you saw in your vision, and how you longed to be back there because there weren't that many people and there was nothing around. Okay. So what you got was recluse. Character prefers to be alone, usually quiet, unobtrusive, staying in the background and hoping to remain unnoticed. Feels uncomfortable in crowds. And you now have a minus 10% on your skill performance or a minus 1 on perception rolls if you are in the limelight. Okay?
Oh, okay, so if I'm like the center of attention, I have minus 10%.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go. Cool deal. That's going to last for... Check. Roll us a d4.
Two.
2 days.
Okay.
All right. And there we go. So you pass out. Needless to say, you now have a bit of a neurosis. You wake up the next day. Day 4.
I wake up the next day. What? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, that's
Cut
good.
out.
Oh, you're good. You wake up on day 4.
Day 4.
Baldy comes in, grins at you, says, "Wakey, wakey."
Where's my breakfast?
Coming right up, sunshine. He grabs your cheeks and squeezes them. So you open up your jaw, takes that hose and just shoves it down your throat. You're stronger.
Let's see if I can stomach it.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that d20. You're going to try and beat a 19. And you got and what's your PE?
My PE is actually good. E is 25.
25. So you're approaching what you are on your sheet, just so you know.
Okay.
You're currently at a 21 is what I have you marked here, so that gives you a +3. So that's 20.
So my physical endurance is going up every day of testing.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep. So you're able to pass that no problem. Tastes good. You love it. At least that's what you tell yourself. And then give us a. We're going to do a MA check.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll percentile and get below 45.
Here he goes. Oh, God.
That's so not it.
That is different.
That's so not it. That's really, that's not it.
Maybe flip the numbers? Maybe.
Yeah. So everybody in the cell just kind of looks at you and just kind of shakes their head. They're like, shh. Like they just think you're a douche.
Makes sense.
They wheel out the gurney, that kind of a thing. And they're kind of catcalling you as you're getting wheeled out. Yeah, whatever, boy. Oh, you know, that kind of thing. Gets you up to the operating room. You can smell, you know, like burnt flesh coming out of that vent as the doctor like shuts it as you're being wheeled in. So you can smell like what seems to be kind of like a greasy barbecue.
Right.
And the doctors are kind of like laughing to themselves. They wheel you in.
So that's as I'm being wheeled to the operating room, I smell that?
Yep.
Okay.
They wheel you in. Put you up on the table. Start to screw everything in. You ready? Roll that under. Roll it under a 70.
Screw us, 76.
You shriek in pain. Same doctor slaps you across the face, grabs your face with that same hand, and you can feel what feels like a pair of pliers around your jaw.
It's like vice grip, just like gripping me.
Yep.
Okay.
And as he's squeezing on your jaw, you can almost feel like your jaw popping out of place. And he's like, "Stream again," and I take away your voice. We don't need you to talk. They finish screwing everything in. That same doctor takes his mask off, and you see that everything from his nose down is metal.
Oh, okay.
He takes
Is it
like,
like in the shape of a mouth, or is it more like a mask?
yeah, it's in the shape of a mouth, almost like a skull.
Okay.
And you see the flesh just kind of ends there.
Gotcha.
And he looks at you, and you can tell by the reaction on your face. He's like, "What? You've never seen a Borg before?"
A Borg?
Yep.
So the skin is kind of grafted to the metal. It's not like it's placed on him, it's a part of him. It's grafted to him.
You got it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. He goes back over there, fires the cigarette up, slams the button.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
No one's coming.
Roll that check.
56.
All right, good job. You had to get under a 60. So you're able to deal with chemicals pumping into your body. You overhear them talking about how the one before you was so fat, he was a little hard to get down the chute.
Okay.
And then they come into your third hour of pain and see if you can get below 55.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh. Yeah, you're rolling. Okay. Roll us another percentage on our random table. And go ahead and roll a percentile.
Oh, God, 95.
Well,
Ouch.
so this one may manifest later. But actually it will. So because of this traumatic experience, this one's going to manifest later. But you're traumatized by this. This is just, it's become too much. And you almost need an escape regularly from it. Okay?
Okay.
So what it's going to manifest into is this is your addiction to that drug that you keep taking in your future state.
Okay.
All right?
This is for the day 4 treatment?
Yep.
Man, that was rough. Okay, that definitely explains my drug addiction.
You got it. You pass out. Wake up day 5. You wake up a little before Baldy shows up.
I wake up before he shows up?
Yep. You look around the room.
Are my bunkmates awake? What about Ivan?
Ivan is gone. He's not back from his operation yet. And from what you're gathering is the rotation is this guy, Ivan, including you. But what's interesting is both Ivan's bed is gone. But this guy, his bunk is there, but it's empty.
Interesting. So, Ivan and I are the only two that seem to be inhabiting bunks in our little room.
Correct. Because these two are empty here.
Gotcha. And so Ivan is gone. Nobody else is in the room but me.
You got it.
Okay. So I wake up from obviously this intense experience that I had, and I'm obviously restrained. Is there any way? Do I see any way the restraints can be broken, or like I know I've gotten stronger. Can I resist the restraints? Can I try and break free?
Give it a shot. So we're going to do your strength right now. What's your strength normally?
Mine is. So I have a. Which one is it? So PS, physical strength.
Uh-huh. Oh my God.
God damn.
So I'm going to put you at a 28 right now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Give me a sec. You're already an epic character here. Okay, roll a d20 and see if you can beat a 23.
What's my plus?
And your plus is going to be... What did I just get done saying? You're a 28? Is that right?
28 is what you said, yeah.
Okay, hang on a second. Let's not do that. Okay. That gives you a plus 14%. I'm going to flip this around. We'll do... So you got to get below a 34.
Below 34.
Yep, get
Below
below.
plus 14%.
I put the 14% in it for you. So I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a 20% chance with that.
Oh,
I'm sorry, with D100, sorry.
Oh, D100?
Yeah, we're doing percentage, yep.
Gotcha. I'm beating at what again?
You gotta get below a 34.
Man, that's stressful.
I know. Doesn't help when I give you the wrong damn roll.
41. Damn.
Oh, so you try, and you are unable to budget.
Okay. Duh. I mean, not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, so I'm probably going to repeat the same things over and over again.
You bet. So go ahead and do it. This time you gotta get below a 28.
Oh, yeah, I'm not getting out today.
Probably not. You can try again if you want. It just gets increasingly harder. So.
I'll do one more time.
Okay.
So is that like a 18 now?
Yep.
Nope, not happening.
Nope. That won't work. Okay. So 1 sec.
Yeah, I've given up for the day. I've tried.
All right. So comes in, gets ready to give you some dinner or some breakfast. Same time, Ivan's coming in. Ivan is hurting bad. He's freaked out. And he just looks absolutely terrified of everything around him.
Ivan does?
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing. He gets locked in. You guys zaps him to sleep. He leaves the room, leaving you with Baldy, looking at you saying, "Well, good morning, sunshine. Aren't you awake this morning?"
Sure am. Where's my breakfast?
Thought you'd never ask, boy. Got nothing but the finest for you.
Yeah, some more slop.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, give it to me.
I wouldn't call it slop. He grabs your bottom jaw and just kind of rips it open, shoves the hose back down your throat.
Ugh.
You can feel it kind of almost hitting rock bottom in your stomach.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll it.
Is that percentile or D20 on this one?
So this one's the D20.
10.
Okay, but your PE is supposed to be at a 26, is that right? Your PE?
28 is what you said for... Oh, no, PS you said 28.
Yeah,
P would be... 20... I think it'd be less than that, honestly. My PE is 25.
Yep. So you're gonna want to roll. You got a +4 on it, so you retch. So for the first time you retch, and he's like, "Ha! I knew one of these days I'd get you. Some tough guy you are." He just reaches down on the puke that's on your shirt and just takes a handful of it and just shoves it in your face.
Causes me to throw up again. I throw up on his shoes.
Attaboy. Huh. You really are tough, aren't you? I like your spirit. Oh, one day you can join me in testing too.
Right after he says that, I kind of like, there's obviously like puke and spittle on my face, and I just kind of like spit at him. I know I'm not gonna get to him, but I just like the degradatory like.
Nice. He just kind of grunts under his breath as he wheels you up to the operation.
Day 5.
There we go. Same sequence, nothing new. So let's go ahead and start with They're messing around with your plugs. Get below an 80.
Alright, here we go. God damn it.
You're in
I had a
pain.
rough time.
You shriek out in pain.
Camp.
Yeah. So, you shriek out in pain as they start to work. And the doctor just starts. He grabs his torch lighter and starts getting it close to your face. So, scream again. I'll take away your sight. I don't need you to see.
Really starting to like this guy.
Well, what kind of terrible person?
Yeah, no, he's
So then they start to. He goes back over there and starts the drugs up. You notice he's not smoking. For whatever reason.
I feel like this could be a good, like where he's talking about like taking my sight. Could be a good reason why I have that massive scar on my cheek. He was threatening me with a scalpel.
That's right, you do have that scar on your cheek.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna roll that into it. I love it.
Yeah.
So instead of that,
great for this.
hey, he doesn't have the torch lighter. Instead, he uses the scalpel.
Right.
And just drags it down across your eye and cheek, right? I'll take away your sight. And as he drags it down, he's just kind of raking his metal hand into the wound itself.
Through gritted teeth as he's doing it, I tell him, I'm going to kill you when I get out of here.
I welcome you to try.
You're done.
I'm never done. Right, boys? Yeah. A little less doctor-like, I realized. Not really what you picture from doctors, so maybe not that.
I don't know, with this facility, it's kind of like a rat. So I'm shaking, but not in pain, but in anger, because I can't do anything.
You got it. You got it. Now the drugs would start, then you got to get below 70.
Oh God. I've been rolling high lately. Oh no.
Oh shoot.
Ouch.
Okay. Well, let's roll on our insanity table. Go ahead and roll us a percentile.
Alright, here we go. God damn it. 82.
Oh man, go ahead and roll again.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna shake my brows for a little bit.
There you go.
Try it again.
Yeah, how'd you get 82 twice in a row? Oh my word.
This juicer camp was not good to me. No wonder I'm so fucked up.
Yep. Then we're gonna have to roll again on that too.
And boom.
Roll again.
Jesus.
No. Keep rolling until you get below an 80.
Yeah. 10.
Oh my God.
Alright, let's just look at these rolls real quick. There's an 82, a 96, a 98, and then a fucking 10.
That's awesome. What is your alignment?
Is it the same kind of alignment as D&D, or?
No, it should be.
I actually have a blank alignment.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the way you played last time. There you go. So go ahead and say your alignment is anarchist now.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
You were principled.
Okay.
So something to remember is you were a very principled person, but this experience has made you realize that there's so much evil in the world that being filled with righteousness and what have you will never get you anywhere in the world. You got to be just as bad as them. Doesn't mean that you go out of your way seeking it, but you just don't like authority. And yeah. It's very selfish around it.
So you said principle. So what's the principle alignment?
So did that from memory. Give me a sec. Let me pull it up. Alignments. So you were a principled alignment. So when Kara first met you, or what brain just lost. I'm sorry. Okay.
Very good.
So the principal character is the upright Boy Scout or do-gooder type. Put others before themselves, all that. So they will always keep their word, avoid lies, never kill or attack an unarmed foe, never harm an innocent, never torture, never kill for pleasure, always help others.
Okay.
Never take dirty money, never betray a friend. And now, you are anarchist. This type of character likes to indulge himself in everything. He's the insurgent, not con artist, gambler, and uncommitted freebooter who adventures just because he likes the thrill, fame, and fortune it brings, but rather than the cause. So he'll keep his word, but only if it suits or pleases him. Lie and cheat if it feels necessary. Not be likely to kill an unarmed foe, but certainly will knock out, attack, or beat up one. Never kill an innocent, although rash or self-serving actions may injure or kill bystanders by accident. Seldom kill for pleasure. Rarely work within the law unless it serves its purpose. Constantly break the law to achieve his goals. Take dirty money without hesitation. And possibly betray a friend.
So it's kind of like if you took Captain America and made him the Punisher.
Yeah. That's yep. I think that's pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. That was just them starting up the drugs. You start to hallucinate. You're seeing that same vision. You're seeing a shadowy figure next to the Jeep. So you had, the blonde-haired lady,
Right.
who you recognize looking off into the distance, and then you see it kind of static freeze and go empty with just kind of a shadow next to the Jeep.
Gotcha.
And the shadow opens its red eyes and looks back at you.
Okay.
All right. And give me one sec.